Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to another fine, spectacular showing of House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 3. We don't know what's going to happen on tonight's episode. I'm as curious as you, sons of guns. With me is my co host, Admiral Teague. How the heck
Hey,
are you, Admiral Teague?
I am hoping for some cursing from Matt Smith tonight. Prince Aegon really needs to get back on his game. I understand he was depressed last week after losing one of his stepsons to a dragon attack at the end of the previous season. And I think that's why he didn't have that lust for life, that vim and vigor that we've seen to say slice someone's head in half down the middle or curse heavily. No cursing by Matt Smith last week. A real loss for the fans, Bill.
Mm-hmm. So we have the screening room. When that comes available, I'm going to load up that screening room and we're going to get on with it. Yeah, okay, well, it's available now. So are you ready? Are you ready? Have you got your dragon's fires? Are you ready to curse the shit out of somebody tonight? Maybe a king?
A
Who knows?
Targaryen, a Stark, some crazy guy from that northern part of the kingdom that we dealt with just once that has that huge ice wall. It could be literally anyone. But
That is
hey,
the north. That is
yeah,
where
that's the Narth.
Winterfell. That's where Winterfell is.
Well, to this month, this week, but I think most of our events are going to happen around King's Landing. I was reading some leaks, and I think we're going to see some stuff going on around King's Landing. And our favorite guy, Prince Damon, is gonna be running around cursing and screaming. And I think that our least favorite guy, Mr. Wuss himself, weak ass king, scumbag Aegon II, whose people call him like Aegon the Flake or something like that because he's such a loser. I think that we're going to see him probably fuck up a few more things because he could fuck up a wet dream. What has he gotten right so far? He's taxing his people, but then he's kind of trying to back off of it. He's trying to build a war machine, but he's not resolute enough to tax the people. At the same time, like he's inconsistent. The hand of the king, who's running his exploits, might have a little bit of a checkered reputation because he's had like two kings shot out from under him. But compared to Aegon II, Otto Hightower was a genius. I don't know what Otto Hightower does now. He'd better be watching his ass.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So have you got your have you got linked for your people so they can know where to watch it in case they don't have the streaming service that provides this?
People, there is a link in the top of the chat. And hello, Jonathan Hancock. It's good to see you. Guys, tweet out that I'm live. Let everyone know. We are
Yeah.
pirates. Pirates we are. Arr, arr. At the top of the...
We're about to watch House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 3. This one has a runtime of 1 hour and 7 minutes. That's with credits. So,
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Admiral Teague Outlaw Bill Broadcasting Network, spanning the globe to bring you the world of entertainment. This time, a good show. Could the wheels come off and this show totally implode on us in just 5 minutes of one scene of one episode? Sadly, yeah, that's this franchise's reputation. That's what happened to their primary show, and they've had shows fail to fucking take off right off the. They had one show blow up on the pad, didn't they? Literally on the pad. Wheel of Time just doesn't work out. But this is a good show, and so far we have no reason to believe that we're going to have any freaky shit happen that's going to blow up the show yet. It just looks like we're going to take kind of take our time going to war. Bill, what do you think? My channel has a poll up right now, and we've got 3 votes. Regardless of when war is declared, how do you think the first actual battle will happen? So The choices are this week off screens. Well, will someone come in like, I'm the only one who made it back alive and like tell some story? Will it be this week on screen? Will we see like, the King Aegon and his guys go out there and actually fight? Or will it be off screen sometime from now? Or will they have this conflict sort of circling around and then joined at the end of this season? And then we'll war all through season 3. Because once we go to war, it would seem to me that the production cost of this show goes up considerably.
Yeah, I'm all ready for it. I want to see what's going to go on. So
I predict we talk a lot about using our nukes. Everyone has dragons, but no one is too crazy about using them. And we found out, if you use a dragon, that dragon might just get a mind of its own and decide that a young princeling is just a yummy snack.
all right, so let's go over the screening room. Kick the tires and light the fires. Here we go, boys and girls.
Smoking in
Episode
the last
3.
5 rows only. Anybody who's read the books and knows the lore, want to contribute, speak right up. And we're so glad you're all here. Hi, Josh Street. Yeah, Josh Street is thinking the way I am. We probably will see the war. The battle will be at the end of the season. I think we might get both. I think we might get one bloody guy crawling in like, oh, they slew us all, and like there will have been a first battle off screen. But I think what we're going to do now is we're going to try to get a tactical advantage against people in King's Landing. They seem to be the toughest faction, and of course, Dreadlock Biden with his navy in play. He's Lord Corliss. So here we see the events of Blood and Cheese. So we've already blown off some battles, huh, Josh? Hey, Radioactive says, hey, it's a new Kaiju Tango and Cash Buddy Cop movie, Zilla and Khan. I'd pay for that, by the way. She's got balls.
And Damon's off doing his own thing. Like,
and Aegon was told to get all the information he could out of the man-at-arms who was involved in the murder of the child. But instead, he just bashed the guy's head in and got only partial information. So he killed every rat catcher in town because he didn't bother to ask which rat catcher. That's what that mass hanging was, guys. So now that part of town is about to become just rat infested. This was our big fight last week. It's brother versus brother. So it's violence and coarse language this week. So I hope it's Matt Smith. And we have a great new beginning. Bill, your feelings about this the first season?
oh, it's the name of this piece of music is called "The Song of Ice and Fire."
We had thought the song was kind of blasé last year because the opening was this weird blood
It's the
machine.
same as this Game of
Same
Thrones
song. Oh, have they switched the theme song to the Game of Thrones theme? Last year's theme song got heavily criticized when we watched it.
But
People
the tapestries
were hating it.
The tapestries are telling a story.
They're foreshadowing what's going to happen. They also said they were not updating it enough in on the other one. This one is a little different every week, I've been told. The militarized minivan was great. Tango and Cash was a fun movie. Yeah. Terry Hatcher was so good looking that she got paid to dance in a bikini, not naked, in a bikini. I still don't understand what that act she did in that club was, but I can watch it again. So they reworked the beginning using the old Star Trek Voyager trick of if the beginning's really good, it'll carry you through the opening. I'm excited for a show about medieval intrigue now. Anybody could watch on two devices would super help us out. If not,
Oh
you're
yeah.
cool too. If you can't, we totally understand. If you could like the stream, that super helps too. And if you could tweet out that we're live, also very helpful.
Oh, it looks like we have a fight starting right now.
These two femmes are going at it. Kinslaying is a Tolkien thing, but okay, I'll allow it. This show has good female characters, but it's not too woke, which is good. And I appreciate everyone who jumped out of the theater to watch on another device. The spike in engagement is really, really nice. Thank you guys. Ooh,
Well, we see a dead body.
talk about a pain in the
Well,
neck.
how did the dead body? Is this post battle?
Oh my god, yeah, she was really, really hot in Tango and Cash. She was so good looking that she just had to wear a bikini when she danced as a stripper. So this is a pretty bad battle, and it looks like they're gonna have to. That windmill's a total loss. Not even Don Quixote would be
Wait,
interested in it.
this is where they were, so this is after the. I don't know.
Yep, the battle was this week off screen. Oh wait, now these are the guys who fought it out.
Yeah, these are the two brothers. And his brother got eaten by the dragon, the big ass dragon.
Yes, and his brother's dragon also. Now the only good thing we have going for these people is they have some dragons in the pipeline too. And yeah, she's making the observation that no one else wants to admit. She's like, maybe firing Otto Hightower was a fuck up. This guy's like the most well-employed person in Westeros, the Gravedigger. That guy's just like, I got work all day. I'm gonna be here until past nightfall. Then I got to get over to King's Landing and bury a few more people. Taking out those two kids, taking out that little kid is not going over well for the faction that did it, is it? Just kind of makes them look bad, doesn't it? All right, here's the kind of bad guy greens. Are they still being talked about when we make it to Game of Thrones, or are we gonna like eliminate this faction? Is that what's gonna happen, or are we gonna marry them out of existence?
I have no idea.
Well, you watch Game of Thrones. Are the greens around?
No, the greens weren't even mentioned in Game of Thrones.
So I don't think they're gonna make it, but they are a nice, diverse group of people. This kingdom has a northern continent where people like Tuvok live. My buddy got us ringside tickets for Shakur Artem next week. This episode of House Dragon should get me ready for some real blood sport. The problem is you're a fucking idiot. And if you start mobilizing the dragons, this war could mess up most of Westeros for a long time. We saw that battlefield. That was a huge fucking battle, Outlaw.
Yeah, it was.
And if they're saying that like it was a Pyrrhic victory at best, are they observing that there was a war between two other factions, or did they get chewed up in this? All right, Harrenhal is what everyone wants to get their hands on. We know Prince Daemon wants it too. Oh, cool. He's doing the Iceman.
Vagar's the big ass dragon.
That's the one that, our buddy lost control of, and it ate his cousin.
Yeah. It's like, oops, I only meant to scare the little shit.
The problem with having a dragon is if you antagonize a dragon for too long, it might just get out of. Things might get a bit.
Well, that little dragon kind of pissed it off, you know. Blow fire at you. Remember it? Blow fire at him.
I thought it was like a pointless act of defiance because like the other dragon was starting to it had already decided it didn't give a fuck what its master thought because you saw like the 5G connection between the dragons and the riders before that and how that worked. And I knew that it just
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck what its master thought. You could see that that wasn't working. And I thought the actor did a good job of showing that he didn't have control of the dragon. Like, and the dragon just starts menacing the smaller dragon and then just eats it. It was fucking pissed off. I don't know if it was in heat or whatever. Oh yeah, Terry Hatcher looked great in the for a really long time. Her IMDb goes from The Love Boat to Desperate Housewives just on her figure. What do these dragons do when they're not waiting to serve their masters? Just kind of fly around and do dragon stuff, eating like wolves and things like that for fun. What do you think she means by that?
Maybe the dragons want to get busy, make other dragons. I don't know.
Maybe it's learning. It's been restless lately. Strange stuff. Appreciate everybody who's here. You watch on two devices. You super help us out. And any likes you could give us also super help us out. Who punched her in the face? Is that still damage from when the kids got attacked?
Probably they did have quite a scuffle.
She had like slash marks on her throat and everything, but I don't know who beat her around. I realize that like also like for casting reasons they want to make some of these factions people who are other than white, I guess for the books, but it's kind of hard to sell the we have a lot of problems with incest and our non-mixed bloodline when you've got a diverse bunch of people and they're supposed to be one family. I'm a little bit sometimes shaking my head on that one. Where's my pal Dreadlock Biden? Yeah, you see this thing, you run away. That's a good move. This is so well filmed. His armor reminds me of the Kurgans early in the Highlander movie. Hey, Tim. Welcome. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. Anybody who can tweet out we're live or watch on two devices to preserve my view, it's appreciated. YouTube's a tough employer. I'm waiting for backup in this situation. This just looks like a bad place to be.
Oh, you just know shit's about to go down.
I wonder how aware they are that there's more than one faction heading to this area to try to take this keep or whatever it is. Is this Aegon's brother, the one with the wonky eye? Or is this
No,
that's
that's
our
Damien. That's
buddy, yeah.
Damien. Yeah,
I was gonna say that's our buddy Damon.
yeah.
They did a good job of casting people who look like they're part of the same family, didn't they?
Yeah. They've always been good at that, though.
Is this the? Are we gonna see that famous throne? Is this where the Iron Throne's at, or is Harrenhal merely tactically important? Good point. So Laris Clubfoot, I guess he's the Bryn the Broken of this show.
Come on, curse some people out. God, I want to see that too
I
now.
know he's still depressed. Start cursing and kill someone. Set an example here, Matt. What's great is this actor's intensity. You could see him flipping out and killing someone just about any second. He's like, I had an ill dream last night. A poorly dressed woman had taken my place and started traveling through time. So I'm not in the mood for this. He's got at least some curiosity about this one, about like the Westeros version of the Hatfields and McCoys who are just warring it up. Whereas Aegon was just like, fuck it. I don't care. Ooh. It's like, well, he can't control his bowels. So they're leaders like ours.
What's that?
Inbreeding is never good, lol. Yeah, no, they said, like he's a mess. He doesn't know what's going on. He can't control his bowels. And I'm like, so they're leaders like ours. It's a big chair made of swords. I told you we were going to hear about it. Let's just say you had a lot of money and you could afford it. Would you have one of those in your house? Would you get an iron throne to sit on? Especially if it was like a gamer chair?
Iron Throne? No.
Let's say it was as comfy as a gamer chair.
I need a chair more comfortable than a... They have not made a chair comfortable yet for me to like it yet.
Hopefully there'll be advances in chairology to fix that, but I feel your pain.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Iron Throne with all this steel and swords.
No lumbar support, right? Or too much lumbar support, really. The ultimate lumbar.
Well, you
I
also
might throw
have to
some
worry
pillows
about
on it.
You have to worry about tetanus too. You know.
I would throw some pillows on it. If I was king of this massive kingdoms, I would pay an actor to sit on the throne and pretend to be me while I call the shots from behind the curtain. So when people ultimately came to kill him, I'd just like waltz out and be like, well, I got one up on you because that's, just my puppet. And so here we go. F you for trying to F with me. Princess Young Drew Barrymore is pretty hot. I give her that.
She's a ginger. She's got red hair.
And appears to have green eyes.
Yeah.
She must be from the same part of the Emerald as me ancestors. She looks magically delicious. Can you cut down those guys before they go rancid? Oh,
no.
Ew. People hate King Aegon. All right, so here we go. As predicted, we saw this last week. We didn't know when it would happen, but we felt it was soon.
Yeah.
So now we know the scenes at the end of the episode are next week, not still to come this season. And with all these problems, these guys sit down to play D&D at this table. That's it.
Here's
That's all
that
they're gonna
cool
do?
map desk. They don't have the fires underneath it right now.
Every faction has their own D&D table. I don't know what's wrong with that plan.
I mean, basically, when you have a dragon, you have a nuclear deterrent. You know,
Right.
like
It's like unleashing a tactical nuke on a town. It's going to get most of the people. It's going to destroy most of the town. I don't know, man. I just go out there with a few dragons and let my air set loose an air raid on these MFers I don't like. How about you? Oh, they honestly did not give her the worst advice. It was kind of a variation on what I said. I would never let people know I was the guy in charge here. I would kind of stay behind the curtain because there's too much intrigue in this kingdom. So what? So what? Pete Rose's kid didn't make the majors. Thank you, Radioactive. Yes, everybody, please hit the like and follows. Very nice of you guys to remember that.
what is your nickname for this guy? I forgot.
What, Lord Corliss? I call him Dreadlock Biden because he's
Dreadlock
really
Biden.
old. He's really
Yeah.
old. He's expressed confusion and he's brought back a couple of decisions, but he is competent and seems to know what he's doing. Like that was before we saw the real Biden a couple of days ago, and we don't really do politics here, but yeah, wow. This is more of a medical assessment. Like this guy's a little more with it than Biden. If they could swap Biden out for this guy, they would. Outlaw Bill, Corliss 2024. What do you think? I guess the poll's kind of over, though. Although I guess the war doesn't really it has not started until one of our main factions starts fighting. What we have is a sideshow war heating up everything else. Have I assessed that right?
Yeah.
All right. Those two people, those sideshow factions that fought
See,
have
these
a lot of people.
she was supposed to marry the one that got killed.
Oh, the kid who got eaten?
Yeah. Or she yeah.
Prince Yummy.
Yeah.
I understand why they had to do this, but we're supposed to everybody here is supposed to be like a little too closely related to get married, and they're distinctly different ethnicities. It's just a little much for the mind. So like somehow I think you got enough DNA variants here for a few generations. As gross as what you want to do is. All right, we have a special dragon egg carrier. I don't think I'd be thinking about any more kids after what's been going on. It's like you're really just raising dragon snacks, lady. And thanks everybody who's here. Appreciate it.
Damn, she put out some children, didn't she?
Are they all her children, or are some of them just like her nieces and nephews? She's like matriarch of an extended.
Some of them could be her grandchildren. I know she's a hot Grammy.
She's a gilf. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she's a gilf. I'd do.
You heard it here first, older ladies. If you're interested, my friend Outlaw Bill looking for a gilf. He's in the market.
Yeah.
Nina doesn't have any friends.
No, I prefer him younger. I'm pulling from her younger, more these days.
Closer to her age. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she is like a 38-year-old grandmother. But a lot of people in our chat were saying that they've combined several characters with the same name together who ruled one after another to make the time compression work. Which would explain why she might not always seem to be the most consistent character. She looks like she bathes in an Irish spring, and I would like to watch that. Disney, are you watching this? Because this is how you kind of have a slow episode. It's still relatively interesting.
We're about halfway through the episode.
Yeah, this one isn't as bulky as the one from last week, but it's pretty long. This one's about 80 minutes. Last week we had 120, right?
No, they're all about 55 to 65 minutes long.
It was the first one that was double length, I guess, right? This guy's just like sucking down booze while they're girding him for war. He is so incompetent. Out of all of his simpering ministers, like honestly, he fired the hand of the king. What difference does it make who advises him? But this guy at least seems to also know that this guy is a total idiot, and he seems to advise him the way you would advise someone who was an idiot and not aware of it. This guy's a great actor, by the way. The guy who plays Aegon II. We've seen him in the interviews that come after the episodes, and he's a totally different person than this idiot that he plays. You're gonna make this guy your hand of the king. You really don't want to do that. And guys, anybody who could tweet out that we're live, hit the like, or watch on 2 devices to preserve our view, it would be awesome and you'd help us out. If you can't, you're cool too.
Is it wrong to call it tweet when it's X?
Yeah.
X it out.
You know what?
Like we're talking about porn.
I was looking at a regular magazine today, and they said on Twitter X. So it's not working out. The rebranding is only just so successful.
Oh God, he loves walking at himself.
But we found out his people call him like Aegon the asshole or something like that. They just don't think he's that great. And now he has been stressing his society. We found that out. And now they're going to go to war. The only good news is all the stress he put on his society was to win a war if it happened. Well, here we go. We got to see if his policies work out. And thanks everybody who's here.
This is how it's going to start. It's going to start with a party that's going to break into a battle.
Yeah, this is like how Klingons act, sort of. But again, like it's really hard to do medieval peasants. Peter Jackson himself did it. So this room full of medieval people, they all have to have enough individuality not to become just like cutouts. And we've succeeded. You know what I mean? We saw a room full of people and they all had a little something going on that was individualistic. We also showed the money that we took to make the show by having a great shot there where we showed this whole big set, which is cool. And she's hot. Everybody's way too hung up on the accomplishments of their grandsire, man. I wouldn't go telling people. He just gave people like 5 really solid reasons to kill him. He's got dark hair.
Oh shit.
Here comes King Aegon the idiot. He's like super cruel. They fear this guy. Oh, he's flying around for the house. You never know what this whack job's gonna do.
They call them the green because that's the color of their family. Yes. That. Oh, a brothel. This is the brothel.
All right, we get to see some views.
This is the brothel in Flea Bottom. The name of this is he's called Flea Bottom. Holy cow! Well,
Yeah, baby.
that was quite graphic.
I mean, all I want to say about this place is I love it, but I don't want to go there with my dad. And find my brother there. When he says you've come so far, finding him in this situation, what exactly does he mean by that statement?
Well, this guy is a royal cunt. I swear to God, he is.
You know what? We got to remember something. It's late in the day, so he's really drunk. We just saw him out drinking, and now it's late in the day, so he's been at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need some female nudity if we're gonna see this. It's a good thing he's a shower, not a grower, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, we've just seen the man's penis. And can he please get an eye patch? She finally found time to tear herself away from her faction's gaming table. She's opened up the box with has the 20-sided dice and some of the information on her quest. Everybody's ready to go at it here. Nobody's really a big fan of any other faction. Yeah, you keep your eyes to the sky in this world, right? Oh, this dragon is a motherfucker. Oh wait, no, this is not the dragon we saw eat the kid. So since the dragons seem to have the hard time staying airborne anyway, the way this one's dropping to the ground super fast is awesome. Everyone's dragon saddle's more or less the same. You've got like 2 handles to hold on to, and I guess the you don't need reins or anything because you kind of are 5G synced to your dragon.
Oh, come on. Rain fire on them. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah, just burn like
Takaris.
why not just burn the entire edge of the forest,
Okay,
knowing that they
okay.
can't get out?
When you hear the word, when you hear him speak Takaris, that's when the dragon rains fire.
I would just point out that went from a large copse to an endless forest. That did not look like that forest was this big. They got
Damn it!
really lucky.
The dragon could have rained fire on them.
I like when everyone decides to meet at night at their D&D table and light the candles, start planning and scheming. If she had incinerated the scouts for the army, I think they would have thought twice about coming in. Am I to take it they have 3 more dragons? Is that what he's trying to tell her?
Whoa, what the heck?
Whoa, this is grueling.
No, this is her. This
A
is the
flashback to what
yeah.
happened after Blood and Cheese, as it were. I told you he was sad, and that's why he wasn't cursing. Now I hate the people who did that all the more.
That was her younger self, the queen.
We know this
Fuck
from
yeah.
last. It was last
Yeah.
season's actress. Is that how you know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That was the younger Queen
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. Yeah.
It's like Daenerys, but with a Ren. Absolutely slaps around Rings of Power. You know, it's not bad. I want to thank everybody who's watching on two devices for me and with my pal Outlaw Bill. Outlaw Bill needs some leechcraft to improve his health. Have you had any victuals today, my friend?
Not really.
We're going to have to check the color of your phlegm later in the spirit of Middle Ages medicine. This chick's hot.
Her younger self was prettier, I know.
No, I meant the brunette girl. But yes, both her and her younger self are pretty. But the younger self is really, really pretty, yeah. All right. I have a feeling that this is Dreadlock Biden's people because we're seeing Navy things. Or is it just that we're in King's Landing?
So this is definitely King's Landing.
Yes.
Well, she's in a dangerous place. I can't. She's pretty bold with this move here.
This is a flex by all involved here.
Oh, something's about to go down.
Yeah, the music's intensifying.
Oh man, all that build up and we get let down. What the fuck?
A little bit of tension. If they go back to it, will be fine. But yeah, we can't have that happen off screen. We already had a major conflict between two factions that aren't a big part of the story go off screen. But since they're not really part of our story, we can kind of let that one go. And this chick just majors in being
I'm
hot.
sensing this episode's a lot of exposition to get us to the next big step because
Well, we've gone 1, 2, 3 episodes, right? The next one
yeah,
will be a big deal because that's when your subscriptions got to be renewed, right? Hypothetically, like
no, this one's I'm good. I'm good.
No. What I mean is, if you are selling your subscription service through the use of House of the Dragon, you know what I mean. People will be around week 4. You give them something big,
Yeah,
and maybe that's a cliffhanger, so
there's
that
well,
they'll be renewing for another month. Like I know
I
that
think
you know you're
there's
going to keep it.
5 more weeks left here.
Right. So the show
5
runs
more
through
episodes. Yeah.
two renewals of your service, even though there's only one on either end of one of them.
Yeah. Most of them, if you don't catch it, they'll automatically renew anyway. So.
No, I mean, I'm talking about from the point of view of the people who make the show. They want it to last through 3
Yeah,
renewal periods. Yeah, that's what I mean. I considered canceling Apple TV today, but no one else wants to have it. So, like, their shows are appealing because no one wants to pay for it.
The 2 women who are friends are acting as friends instead of enemies right now, but you can feel the tension between them.
I like Jedi Master Raven's advice to you is take 2 leashes and call in the morning. We're gonna put a worm in his ear like Khan did. These are pets.
Imagine if they put that in their yin yang. I don't think I would want that thing crawling in my yin yang.
The thing is, this blonde girl seems real pretty, but she's wearing like the least fun outfit in the world. Like her faction basically makes chicks wear burqas. It's the only way I could describe her outfit. I mean, we can see her whole face, but that's the only difference.
What's weird is that the one actress in the red hair, she was not recast. I mean, they kept her the same, and they had 2 different gals for Rhaenyra.
I think they're willing to fake your age lower, but when you get older, they want to recast you. So this woman was faked down to be younger. Now she's just a little older than the actress appears. Best guess.
Yeah, but what you want to kind of you got fucked over in that old deal anyway, too.
Yeah, everybody in this world is pretty underhanded about making deals.
Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to buy real estate in this world?
Uh-huh.
It's like, hi, me and my friend Outlaw Bill need a place. So, you'll love it here.
In this world, you wouldn't have to buy it. All you'd have to do is fucking take it.
Outlaw Bill, we're gonna go kill the people who live in this place.
That's right. That's right. You kill anybody who opposes you.
And people just be like, did you kill
That's
people?
you get
Like,
power,
yeah.
man.
It was like, what happened to people who
Kill
live
them
here?
all, burn them all.
What happened to the people who lived here? They weren't overly strong, so we relieved them of their existence on this planet. Oh, all right. Okay, cool. Like, it seems like that would be all right in this world.
In this world, they give out trophies for rape. It's like wear like a badge of honor. Kidding, of course. Damn it! Don't take me seriously.
Don't use the real word. But okay, I thought they'd be like, and here's your, Megan's Law sigil. Congratulations. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I was saying gape, grapes. Yeah, grapes. I was saying grapes. That's all. But you really heard.
That's all I heard. We risk so much to have this conference. So what I think what it'll do is it will push back the war a little bit. We got factions on the move, but no one's really gone at it yet, except some sideshow people who may become important later. But I think the analogy here is it's kind of like World War One. There's there's other conflicts jumping off, and it's really just not helping the uneasy peace in Westeros.
Too late. Too late. Already going to war.
We have slowly throttled down the pace of things every episode, and that does not so much bother me. But I mean, now that like after this week we'll be at the middle, do we start to build back up again? At this point, we're looking at maybe nothing having happened this week except people reiterating to us that they really mean what they've said so far.
Yeah, because this has just ended. The episode just ended.
This episode that's like a 5.5 at best. This was absolute filler. This was not insulting to my intelligence, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of really disappointed with that episode, man.
It's a disappointing episode, but my enthusiasm for the series is only just so much affected. This was bad, though. This was bad. This was not terrible TV, but it was not the high level of really good stuff we're used to.
No,
these guys.
Nothing interesting happened. It's like, damn it! Just when you think something's about to happen, nothing does happen.
Nothing happened.
They give you a little bit, and then they take it away from you. It's like, God damn it! Somebody should have got killed.
If that chick on the dragon would have killed a few people, it would have saved this week's episode.
Oh, I would have praised with joy and
the problem is
dragons myself.
The question is, are we now the problem? Are we exhibiting the kind of mindset that Disney thinks everyone has? It's like, we didn't get a dragon attack this week, so it's a bad episode. Is it possible that it was a very good episode and we just wanted more action? Or was this one just really slow? And this is the world we live in now with streaming. I think it's the world we live in now with streaming. How much you want to bet they don't try to explain this one with an extra feature? Oh, wait, no, we have a 10-minute extra feature. Cool, coming attractions. Yeah, I think we're going to stay edgy for a while. Next week, it looks like, I think we're showing the end of next week with all of this impending combat. So next week we're going to get to the edge of conflict. It looks like
we've
set the conflict in motion, but it looks like And here we have a commercial for the video game. Best I can tell, two major armies will meet up next week. One force already out in the field is King Aegon, so I guess Damon and Allison's forces will go out too. Well, here we go.
Do we want to see it into the episode?
Do we want to see the end of the episode speculation? Guys, you're
Yeah.
welcome. And thank you to the 200 people who came through my channel to watch this. Wow. Be great if more of you stayed here and watched on two screens, but I'll take the 200. I love you all. So here we have the Brackens and the Brackwoods. We just saw like 10,000 dead guys. How could they have 40,000 more? I thought that woman was an actress. She was so good looking. I was like, oh, she's the fucking writer? You know what we're seeing? I think different people from last week because what we're seeing is this week's writers, right?
Yeah. And actors on the show.
The actors on the show stay the same unless we've swapped people out. But I think we'll probably see the lady from last season who played the younger version of Rhaenyra because that was a cool little thing they did there. We didn't see what Otto's up to. He's keeping quiet, isn't he? I think what's more remarkable is that Tom Gwynn Carney here has a much more of a solid idea of what his character's doing. The one thing I always take away from these extra features is that particular actor who plays Aegon is a really good fucking actor because in real life he's very intelligent and very urbane, and as Aegon he's like
he gets in his car. He called his dragon his car. He called his dragon his car. He gets in his car and runs off to Harrenhal.
These writers are fun. This guy's the showrunner, I guess. We see him every week. Thank you for explaining to us who the fuck this guy is. The four-wheel Dragon XL SUV. Yes, exactly. I would want leather seats. And what do you think, Outlaw Bill? Heated leather seats, right, on your Dragon?
Yeah.
You're gonna go up there real high. It's gonna be cold up there. He saw his young niece before she married his brother and became his wife later on. Yeah, I would send away the kids too if I was Rhaenyra. She's not
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah,
Every person. Go ahead.
that's the one that was gonna marry the kid that got eaten by the dragon.
I was gonna say, like, one, they look like they've got plenty of DNA variants in their family. It's a little weird, but okay. Um, Also, this everyone's stage English is a lot better than in Rings of Power. At least it's believable.
Wow, I find that incredibly sexy, man.
What?
Her ethnicity and the accent.
She's a very, very alluring woman. She's very, very pretty.
And digging the hairstyle too.
She has really interesting features. The classic features. I like the silhouette of her face was really interesting. She's pretty. She's a lot hotter than say Zendaya. This was kind of a cool but nuts thing to do, where she made the decision to kind of sneak up in there and have that one-on-one talk with the other faction leader. I'm sorry, but this one writer is freaking hot. Um, I have an observation on these inside the show segments, but I'll hold off until they're done. All right, here we go. Oh, there's a making of this. We could watch that one day.
Yeah.
Honestly, oh wow, so that's how they do the dragon riding. That was cool. And we get to see the object of Outlaw Bill's desire there talking to us. And I have to take points back on her stage British. She's just British. But the people who aren't do a fine job. This was I mean, it was a good episode, but let me ask you a question about these post episode like inside the inside the show. segments. Do you think, is it just me, or do you think that they're using them to kind of fill in a lot of stuff because the show is just complicated? Or
Yeah,
are they reiterating stuff, or are they telling us stuff that they
I
couldn't
think
cram
they're
in?
using a lot of it to fill in right now. It feels like that way to me.
Because the show is incredibly dense with events, and it's like we see things and we see something happen, and we hear a conversation, and you might be forgiven for thinking it's nothing but edginess, but then it's like at the end the writers are like, what's going on here is she's really feeling her vulnerability as she's lost her son to the dragon attack, and it's just like the actress then comes and expounds upon it, and it's like it recontextualizes what we just saw because it kind of, like, I want to say it raised my regard for the episode. It succeeded in what it was supposed to do, but it is kind of putting a spotlight on the idea of this show's pretty good, but that episode was its weakest one of this season. It didn't
Yeah,
make it
by
into the 7
far.
range. It doesn't make it to. It's not a 6. It's not a 6. It's not a 7. We had 7, 7.5 for episode 1, and 7, 7.5 for episode 2. Because even though episode 2 they cranked the events down, what happened was still pretty horrific and pretty captivating. And now we finally made it to episode 3, and it's just we didn't have any events.
I
Things that
think
we knew were happening kept happening. That's the only way to put it.
I think the biggest what the F moment is when we saw somebody in a brothel get in a Hummer.
That was pretty cool. We saw some boobs. They gave us that.
Yeah, they did give
It
us
was
some
pretty
boobs.
quick and fairly tasteful, but they did give us that. And I look forward to seeing that again. I want to see Queen Allison's boobs. I think she's hot. Um, what can I tell you? I think she's hot. And we saw this conflict. Kind of what I thought last week is what's going on. Let's see what our poll came out. I can close that one out like a good host. We got 18 votes. Thanks. And if you're still here, there's still time to get in our vote. 2 of these already we know can't be. So there's only 2 possibilities: off screen sometime from now, or last episode on screen. I'm thinking the one that got the least amount of votes is last episode on screen. We have 5 episodes left, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
We could totally get to the point next week where we have both armies ready to go, but we hold off to negotiate, and then everyone pulls back to think about it for all of episode 5. So episode 4 could be an initial kind of like, we might have like a battle of the champions, say, or something like that in episode. We don't know how they're going to resolve it. This is a medieval society. I haven't read the books. It's all on the table. We could pull like they did in Troy and just be like, we'll get our Brad Pitt type guy to fight your like badass WWF type guy, and we'll see who wins. Or WWE type guy. Sorry. Better to have some sophistication in a TV show than Disney Soy Wars, Kurtzman Soy Trek, 10 years under dial. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. This slow episode, they didn't. There's like, we are kind of. We're part of the problem by calling it a slow episode and a bad, like, but we're not calling it a bad episode. Like, and I said this last week, at some point you have to turn off the fire hose of events, right? We have so many major things have happened. This week, early in the episode, Prince Damon gets to Harrenhal, and he's there, and he talks to some people that we don't. I guess it would have helped to have known who the fuck they were before they had the catch up later. So I guess one criticism now is they're depending on knowledge of the books and explaining it later. We're never going to get that on screen, who this guy is. They gave it to us in the catch up, and the catch up is good, and the inside the shows are good, but we're not going to get a moment on screen where it's just like, it's good, all right, cousin Otto, whatever, cousin whoever you are, strong, you're all right. Like, and I guess it doesn't work to have them do it, and they've chosen to do this. It's not. I can't call it infuriating. One, to mandate that they have some kind of conflict just to make the episode worthwhile means that I like what they do at Disney, right? Because they contrive a way to have a fight in every episode. So we have to take that on the chin. Did the way the story unfold, was it interesting enough? Did we get enough information that it made up for the lack of action? That's the question.
Yeah.
I don't resent this episode existing. It connects the last episode to the episode coming. If they pay it off.
It's just filler. Yep, but we get the.
I don't know if I want to call it just filler. It was decently thought out filler. Because you know what, when Disney has an episode like that, and every streaming show seems to have the episode where nothing happens at all, and we really do just do filler. And for instance, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, remember the one where out of nowhere, after he's great with the shield forever, in episode 6 or some shit like that, 2 before the end, Sam and Bucky hang out, and Sam practices with the shield, and he has to kind of learn how to use it. And you're like, wait a minute, why are you having problems now? And you're like, oh, it's because nothing's going to happen this week. And then, like, we always have that episode.
God, yeah. Oh my God.
Right? Am I right about that?
I totally forgot about that until you mentioned.
Every single episode of a streaming show has a bloat episode. And, like, I don't know why. It usually happens right around the number of like where the month changes, right? Episode 3 is not so great, but your subscription's paid for 4 weeks. This is the thinking of streaming services, I believe. So next week, 4, when you have to decide whether or not to keep this, I think next week they're going to give us something. We're going to see some of that conflict. They're going to fight a little bit next week, and then they're going to, like, cooler heads will prevail in the middle of the beginning of a really all-out battle, and they're going to pull back to 2 different hills or 2 different forests and think it over, because there'll be dragons involved, and everyone's going to think about the implications of, do we go dragon in this war? Is that too crazy?
Yeah.
And why does episode 5 appear to be ready to go there? What is that, episode 5's teaser?
No. This is the making, the making, how they make.
These are the makings.
Yeah, they're 27 minutes. They're 27 minutes in length. So if you want to watch,
they're pretty substantial. I don't know. We'll watch them on our own for research so that we can talk to people that see it in there. Or if people want to watch them on their own, like our transformative and descriptive method of talking about the episode will not work when people are just disgorging pure information. Those documentaries by Road are just pure information. So I guess if you want to vote in my poll, vote now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
Let's see. This week off screen, 37%. Didn't work out that way. This week on screen didn't work out, 21%. Off screen sometime from now, which seems to be the one that's going to happen, because I think they're going to have to have some form of a battle next week. Because that was like, we touched the boob of battle over the shirt, right? We didn't get the greatest episode, but we got to make out with it a little bit. We got to touch the boob over the shirt. That's the best way to put this episode. We're like, episode last week, like, we got up inside the shirt a little bit. We got to touch some things, but this week it was mostly outside the shirt action, like a little hesitation by House of the Dragon. But maybe by next week, we'll be ready to go back under the bra and really feel some nipple there. And we'll find out what's going on, because I think next week they have to start to pay off a little bit, because the mind of a streaming show's creator has to be, every 3rd episode we could slow it down, because the 4th episode has to pop to make people renew for that next week. Because if we had paced it so that we had a really action-packed episode now and did this episode next week, how many people would be like, you know what, I'll fucking catch up when it's over. Now that it's paid for, theoretically, using the 4 weeks for 4 episode hypothetical, I'm expecting big things from next week. What do you think about that? You like my theory?
Yeah, it's pretty darn good.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. The poll has ended. The winner was this week off screen. I guess we could say we had a major battle revealed to us with like tens of thousands of dead people. That was like a stadium full of dead people. So how
we
those
got
river people have a lot more resources beyond me, but they must be pretty strong. Go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry.
we got like 48 hours before, a little bit over 48 hours before we the that other show that we do,
Oh, it's time to
the
talk
woke
about.
light.
It's time for a few minutes of discussion about the other show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a show that's
The
not as
other
good as this
show.
one.
I don't, at this point I don't even know what
The
it's called.
best. It's the appendix to the. It's I don't know. It's a prequel to a prequel. That's a sequel to a sequel. They're subverting their own story yet again. It's a subversion of a subversion of a subversion of a subversion. We're just going back and kicking shit around and trying to make a story out of it.
That
There was
horrible
no
fan
reason.
fiction.
Yeah, there was no reason for Ezra Miller to be Darth Smilo Ren. There was no reason for him to be Darth Gimp. There was no reason for him to be Smilo Ren at all. They just they did it, and it was. I don't know whether to applaud them that for the one time it was the person you expected it to be instead of just the most ass backwards rug pull that you could get on a show, because that's like my prediction. You kind of liked it. A couple of other people said they liked it. I think I was talking to my friend Radioactive, said he liked it. I said I think it's Trinity because it's the stupidest thing they could do, and a couple people were like, "Whoa, that would be so stupid." I'm like, "Yep, yep." Think of how bad Robot Secret Hideout, like Disney, Star Wars, MCU, that move would be. Faking her own death to get back inside on the inside of the order she's already inside of as an unknown insider to get inside the conspiracy, to start the conspiracy of her unnecessary death. To find out about the death that she caused to get in on the inside, to see who tried to kill her, that she set up. You know what? Like one of those stupid, circuitous things. They like when you think on it, the real reason for it would have been that she had set up her own death for no reason, so that she could pretend to be someone else to see who would want to kill her. And it turned out to at least be someone that I guess incompetence did it to them with the Ezra Miller character, because they've been reading people's minds without their consent and other shit like that left and right to show how like the Jedi aren't that cool, which is the meta of this show. Last week we had a battle scene where some people said the action was good, but people who specialize in breaking that down had more time. And I saw some videos from a day ago talking about a lot of freezing and people off screen. And they did say that when that battle started with Smilo Ren, 5 of the Jedis just stood there for a very long time waiting for him to kill 2 of them. Then, like, they came at him one at a time. One person swung at empty air over and over and over. And what they pointed out was it was they didn't use this example. I'm going to use it. In Rings of Power, remember when we saw Murford Clark like take the sword and like own like 2 guys, but like it was cheaply done? Like she kept moving and we were blocking out what we would see with pillars and stuff like that. They've gotten better at sort of hiding what's going on, if that makes sense. They've gotten a little better at hiding what's going on. And that's the only improvement I've really seen from these people. Well, you know, when that sequence happened, when Murford Clark, who's tiny, owned 2 guys with a sword who were supposed to be kind of badass seamen, they had her moving, you know, with these pillars between us and the camera. So the camera was placed at a stupid place to show a fight, right? We kind of did that a little bit here, where we hit a little bit of the fighting to make it, to sell it a little bit. In the Acolyte, I'm saying, not in a House of the Dragon. In the Acolyte, when that fight happened, when people were fighting with Smilo Ren, they were moving in and out between trees in that forest. Remember? And the point of view was from further away. So what they were doing was they were shelving and pausing a few people at a time and having 1 or 2 go at him. So that even with that, there was a lot of openings for people to just take him out, where people were just baseball batting into thin air during the Acolyte fight scene. So the fight scene that kind of got praised, it was just fast and frenetic. When it was broken down, like, it doesn't add up either. So a huge 0 for them on that one too. I found the action scenes in House of the Dragons have been actually very good. So nothing but praise for me on this show.
Hey, Cyrus is here.
Hey, Cyrus.
For a second. How's it going?
It's great. We just saw what would I guess would be the bloat episode of this one. Only way to put it. This one was pure filler, but it wasn't disinteresting, and they didn't blow up their story. So I guess we're supposed to celebrate, right? Because that almost never happens.
So is the series good?
The series is still good. It's just this was their weakest episode. But on thinking about it, like we have to give them enough credit to say, they didn't do the Disney thing where they squeezed in a mandated fight no matter what, because that might be the reason some of these fights are so stupid and so bad is that they just contrive their way into one. Like if this was Disney, Queen Alicent and Queen Rhaenyra would have had an actual fight, a girl boss fight, when they had that conversation. So I guess we should appreciate the subtlety of the fact that they had that conversation and some of these world building conversations that were meaningful. We didn't have a lot of stupid conversation. We didn't go with humor that didn't work. There was a little humor, but it worked. So like the episode worked and it was fine. It was just like nobody got eaten by a dragon. We teased it a little bit. We had a bunch of people caught out in the open, but they managed to get away from the dragon. And the person on the dragon head, we found out later, been ordered not to really cause any problems. But we got some stunning visuals. We didn't hurt our story. That's something that I think we have to keep in mind in a time when all we seem to do is we wound a lot of our stories. This wasn't like a Star Wars story where they wounded themselves by squeezing in a fight. This wasn't like a Star Trek story where we shoehorned in conflict for the sake of getting it and hurt ourselves. I was satisfied with this episode despite the lack of action. Hello, D.E. Roberts. It's good to see you. The lightsabers looked different. When I saw the lightsabers in slow motion, they were proper. They were a proper sequel lightsabers. Prequel lightsabers. They had that sort of shape. But when they lit them up, they had instability. Did you notice that, Bill? In the last Acolyte, when we lit up our lightsabers, they light up with it. They don't just come out. Did you notice that? They're a little bit like Kylo's lightsaber when you first turn them on.
Yeah.
Was that because they got interfered with? We saw some dumb stuff in the last Acolyte, guys. We saw a lightsaber duel.
Oh, it's fucking to get dumber too. So,
well, there's a medal from a video game that explains how he was able to headbutt those lightsabers from working. There's a medal in world from a video game that needed to get unfoiled and explained, but they didn't bother with it. Because remember how we're like, what the fuck? Were they just standing there trying to turn their lightsabers on and they did everything but look into them and turn them on and off? They're just like, and that's like, that was like one headbutt from him onto their lightsaber blades. And so like, what has he got? Like Beskar and Impossibilium? It's something from a Star Wars video game. Maybe someone here, Cyrus, have you played a Star Wars video game where there's a medal that will make a lightsaber short out for a little while?
I didn't play many of those games, so I don't really remember anything like that.
Remember in Revenge of the Sith where Obi-Wan duels the pretty tough battle droids who have the staffs, the lightsaber. They use the Kyber crystal technology, apparently staffs on each end, the double-sided staffs, and he fights those. And when he strikes at those, the staffs have some kind of metal that's resistant to the lightsabers. So there's some metals out there that would be resistant to the lightsabers. But that winking on and off, we had never seen that before. And that was shitty and dumb.
well.
I guess we're just going to.
Well, I guess we're going to call this wrap for House of Dragons Season 2, Episode 3. Join us next week.
The metal that
for
short
House
circuits
of
the
the Dragon
lightsaber blades.
Episode Season 2, Episode 4.
Yes. We will be back on Tuesday with the
and
light.
What the light?
And
It
that brings us
sounds like we invoked
Jimmy J.J. Walker from Good Times. Yeah, no, it's a
No.
bad show, but you and I have a good time watching it, and you're a pal, and we have a
it's
rip.
so bad.
It's terrible
It's good
though.
to
It's
rip
so
on
bad.
it.
You don't have to pay attention to it. This week we may have missed a detail or two because this was their slow exposition episode. Let's see. I'm thinking of Cortices, thank you, that is supposed to be the only material that can be used as a sword that counts as lightsabers. It's in Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Yes, Cortices is, or Cortosis, whatever it might be. And, a little bit of Listerine will fight that Cortosis. But the Cortosis or Cortices, it will fend off a lightsaber blade. I guess that's what General Grievous's boys, their staffs are made out of. And it's in one of the video games too. Like we said, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. It can mess up your lightsaber blade. And it's nice that all of you came here and watched. It was amazing that so many of you were through here. If we could have had people watching more on 2 devices, it would have been really mind-blowing. But I'll take the number, and we'll fix that analytic because we have much longer watch parties when we go longer. But wow, 250 people through on my side of this one. I am absolutely humbled that you made us your House of the Dragon entertainers. There's a lot. This is a crowded field, and to do 251 is quite an honor. Thank you all very much. Let's see. Radioactive says it's pretty obscure, so that it should have been explained. It should have been explained in the show. Yeah, I think what we were talking about this a little bit. Can we get? Do you have 2 more minutes, Jedi Bill?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Outlaw Bill. One of the things that we didn't do that they should have done, and we're talking Acolyte now in our overtime. In Acolyte, Cortesis is from the video games. If they're gonna have something that's gonna make lightsabers short out and malfunction, how do you roll it out after the fact? You know what I mean? We see this happen. We have no fucking context. What are we supposed to do as the casual fan? They are depending on, I understand this is a popular video game, and that George Lucas had the story for the video game, and it's a beloved character, and it's a good video game. But this is a TV show that's supposed to be for everybody. This is not for gamers who watch TV too. So if you're, I'm not shitting on the game at all. I've played some of these games. They're hard and they're fun. They're good games.
You remember Knights of the Old Republic? That one was great. That old RPG game.
They're like my dick. They're hard and they're fun. And some of them are long. But yeah, no, I think I think I know the one you're talking about. Is that the one where I usually get messed up when you have to do a puzzle of movement where you have to jump around and swing around. And I got to a point where you had to get one of the MacGuffins and you had to swing and go on pulleys and slide around. I was just like,
This one was the RPG one where you got to make decisions, essentially to be good or evil, anywhere in between. And you did kind of a turn-based combat in a way, if I recall correctly.
No, you were going to be a good guy in this one. I think you're Kyle Katarn. I think it was the one with Kyle Katarn.
Yeah.
I might have played the game.
Actually, I got to see if that's on sale right now since that summer sale's going.
The Outlaw Jedi Curly Bill. It's you know what? That would be
just outlaw. Just outlaw, man.
The outlaw Josie Bill. It begs the
I hereby throw in my hand for running for the president of the United States, and I hereby appoint Admiral Teague as my running mate.
Thank you. You know what? Our first policy will be this: before debates, we're going to make sure that Outlaw Bill has a nap, and he will be briefed. And he will be allowed to look at national security and stuff with sensitivity levels to it, because I trust him to not go blabbing to the Russians or anybody else or whoever it might be.
Don't worry, anybody who opposes me will be dealt with swiftly.
Very, very. We're gonna.
That I guarantee.
Yes. You know what? When Outlaw Bill becomes president, we're going to be strongly looking into these Marvel and Star Wars TV shows, we will be appointing a blue ribbon committee to investigate the Acolyte. And let's face it, when Disney sends us their Star Wars, they're not sending us their best anymore, Outlaw Bill. They're sending us Obi-Wan. And they're not even sending us the best Obi-Wan. They're sending us a watered-down version of the one from the prequels. They're sending us Reva, who was just like too ill-explained and survived too many fatal wounds for us to latch onto. And they have reinvented this character again in May and Osha. And I guess one of them's dead, or is the rug pull going to be that the one that we think is dead is alive? I don't know. We can jumpstart people with the Force too now, can't we? Or the thread, can't we? We've seen that. So if she's dead, like, you know, maybe Master Saul just goes and jumpstarts her. What do you think? No one's ever really gone.
I still hate how they're calling it the thread. Like, what is this bullshit?
Okay, so what they want to do is they want to have intellectual ownership of Star Wars and not have to pay even the smallest of fees.
Come November, vote for your patron
Outlaw
Bill and
Teague. Yeah, that's right.
We're going against Sethia Applaud and then the other two bozos. So
that's right. And you know what? I have a distinguished military career. I was also the leader of the men in a Cardassian prison camp where we were not treated very well. We called it the Cardassia Hilton, Bill, and we were dealt with quite harshly. I was there with Space John McCain, and you know what? He was a pal of mine, Space John McCain. He was treated very, very badly, but behaved very, very bravely under pressure. And, you know, Space George Bush didn't come out to help us. So that was all pretty rough. But I guess, let's see, Foya and FEMA will defeat the twins of Osha and Mayday. Yeah. Our character names in the Star Wars show are absolutely horrible. In this one, the names make sense, and they are similar to Games of Thrones names. If there's any problems, it's that the names make sense and they're close to Game of Thrones names. And then we have Aemon and Damon, and it's kind of like, you know, if you almost need to sometimes just to make sure you
don't worry. I assure you, I have Vigar on loan, so I can decimate almost anyone, and I have my own nuclear deterrent. So yeah. Don't mess with us. I'm gonna sit down and say my parting words. Be excellent to each other. And party on. We'll see you on the next one.
As Ozzy says.
Yeah, and
bye guys.
Don't let me come to Karis on your ass. Later, guys.
See you on Tuesday for the crack.